All right, and it does say we are live. I'm gonna give it just a second. All right, we are good to go. So I am Brandon,
And I'm Mark.
and ooh, we are getting some weird feedback. Okay. This is Invest for Life. We are doing a couple different things today. We're going to go over Tesla, we're going to go over Apple, and how they compare kind of for the holiday season as far as stocks go. Now, this is Stock Talk episode 1. So if you are watching this for the very first time, like and subscribe so that way you can catch all of the future episodes that we do and any videos we post other than that as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right on into Tesla. Go ahead, pop it up. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about here is kind of how these stocks are going to be doing coming up and how they're going to be projecting through the holiday season. That's going to kind of be the trend for what we're referencing to. So the first point that I would like to talk about is Tesla and Battery Day. So we'll go ahead and pop that up here. And just as a warning for everybody, we are not investment professionals. We're not licensed to be doing so. We're not giving you buying financial advice. We are just talking and discussing about what the stocks are currently, where they could possibly go, and just as a discussional topic. And the first one that I believe will be a big thing for us coming up, the closest one is Battery Day. And everybody's saying that, of course, they're expecting Tesla stock to rise a pretty good amount. I believe I've seen projections of 475, of back up to 500, and people think it's just going to run away with when Battery Day actually announces. And we'll discuss why in a little bit. What are your thoughts on that starting off, Mark?
So I have some clear, for everybody who will be watching this, I am not the most bullish on Tesla. So I think that Battery Day, a lot of the speculation I think is already starting to be priced in. If you look at what Tesla has been doing, especially this past week, the overall market corrected. Tesla has been rising already though. So with Battery Day coming up on Tuesday, I think it's going to rise a little bit, and then it's just going to all come down to, are people's expectations met? If they're met, I think Tesla is going to keep rising. And if people are really hoping for that 1,000,000-mile battery and it doesn't happen, I think a couple people may leave, and then that could shake up the stock price a little bit. So 500, I think that may be a little bullish for my taste, but not saying that that can't happen. I've been wrong on Tesla almost all year, so.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Now, with that being wrong on Tesla all year, a lot of people are still bullish on, or sorry, bearish on Tesla and where they think they're actually going to go. Now, Tesla does have some things that we are expecting or hoping for on actual Battery Day that I don't know that a lot of people have been counting in. So some of these things that I believe that we are pretty close to where expectations are currently, but Tesla is going to announce some things that are going to make expectations go up. And I think that's why the stock is going to rise. And I'll back that argument in a little bit, if that makes sense. A lot of things Musk promises. Now, he's been literally, I was trying to find a tweet for it real quick, but he's been literally promoting this as a big event, something he's very, very excited about, and that things are going to change. That's been something huge that he's been quoting in a lot of his tweets coming. Let me see. So we have the first thing that I believe is going to be a big deal. So for anybody who's been watching and kind of keeping up with Tesla, recently that they actually showed what a new fuel cell will kind of look like in a lot of the tweets kind of going around. I believe Simon obviously is one of the people that have been tweeting this, but it's kind of looks like this now. This is one of the things that we think that they're going to be launching or announcing kind of projections and when they're going to actually start implementing things like this on Battery Day. Now, what this is, it's a smaller, more condensed version of their battery cell, which is going to make things last longer, or go farther, and charge faster, which is kind of the idea. They're trying to get things to charge as fast as it would if you had a gas vehicle, which to me right now sounds outlandish. Have you seen anything about this, Mark?
So I have a little bit, and I do think, and I want to give Elon Musk credit where credit is due. He has completely changed the narrative when it comes to electric cars. Electric cars have been a thing in the past, and everybody's been like, they're really bad. Let's not even bother with it. Tesla has completely changed that. And so I don't want to like undersell any small mention that he could throw out on Tuesday, because improved batteries, longer lasting batteries, anything he can do, more energy in the batteries, is a huge upside for not only Tesla, but for just the entire electrical vehicle community in general. And I mean, if you look at just other things that he could announce, even just small random like snippets that you may not think matter, it's Elon Musk. Like, I'm not going to cut him short on anything. Like, you never know what something he could announce could end up doing to the overall, not just stock price for Tesla, but just the overall narrative that he's already been changing when it comes to electrical vehicles.
Yeah, and other people, what they're kind of saying as well, or not other people, but other topics that they're believing that he's going to be announcing on Battery Day is like a roadmap to 400 watt hours. Like, what does this look like? How do we get to this million-mile battery? I would be blown away if they actually came out with the million-mile battery that could go 600 miles in one charge on Battery Day. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that's going to happen. However,
I agree.
That technology just seems like it's a little bit far away still, and maybe not as far as it once was. Obviously, we're a couple years down the road since they first started talking about this, but I believe we're going to actually get a roadmap to what it's going to be to get there, and I think it's going to be soon, but just not quite yet. And I think that's exactly, I like how they put this here, a roadmap to 400 watt hours. I like that. And this is by CNET, by the way. We will have all of the websites that we use are going to be linked and sourced in the description below. If they're not already, they will be there by the end of the video. Also, they're trying to cut some of the expensive things to mine out of their battery process, which is going to be something like cobalt, and they're going to be using different chemicals, different things inside their batteries, which one of them they're trying to do is, let me see, I saw it up here. Yeah, there you go. Silicone nanowire anode. Now, I'm not an expert in batteries. I'm not going to claim to know exactly what all of that means. However, this is one of those things that is going to help them get to that point of the 400-mile battery. And they haven't quite fixed all of the silicone inside the batteries themselves, as they do form cracks over time. So adding more of it generally adds a little bit more rigidity and whatnot. So that way the batteries don't degrade as fast. And I think that's what they're trying to do to get to that million-mile battery, or at least something pretty close to it. Which is very important. Now we'll kind of go down just a little bit more. I have, yes, the dry battery electrode. Now this is something we are thinking, and by we, I mean like a lot of people in the YouTube community, a lot of people in a lot of these articles and stuff think that this is going to be something that's actually announced in the actual Battery Day. Now, it's dry battery electrode is something that they been working on for a long time. They bought a company, Maxwell Technologies, that they acquired them about a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then they've been working on it ever since to try and get it integrated into their vehicles, their processes, their manufacturing processes. And some of the benefits to this is, of course, energy density. They can get a lot more energy density out of this particular electrode. They can get improved battery life. Now, it says up to here they can improve battery life by up to 2 times. They can, in production costs, they can actually cut production costs by about 10 to 20% and increase capacity density by about 16 times, which is huge for their production. That could be one of the things that truly makes the cost of their vehicles get very close to the cost of an actual gasoline-powered car, the battery pack versus the engine kind of thing. And I think that's something that we're going to see. We're going to get very close to that in Battery Day, which something like this can be a big move forward to what that means.
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, like I said, he has changed the narrative when it comes to electrical vehicles. And I like that you brought up the price of their actual vehicles. You know, they're seen as a luxury vehicle right now based purely on their price, even just their lower models. If they come out with something that can improve efficiency, reduce costs, any company is always for improved efficiency and reduced costs, regardless of what you're trying to sell.
Yep.
And so if they can come out with something convincing and substantial, like a new battery, like this dry electrode, I mean, it could change the narrative even more. And the biggest thing there is if they can, one of the reasons I've been kind of bearish on them is because I'm not the biggest fan of most car manufacturers as an investment. If you look at Toyota or any of the German vehicles, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, they sell a lot more cars, even some of the luxury ones, than Tesla. And, their stock prices aren't doing anything. What Tesla has for themselves is that they're basically in a class of, now there's new competitors like Nikola's coming out, and there's a couple other small ones. And, each of these major manufacturers has their own EVs, but they don't compare to Tesla right now. And if Tesla can say, like, you know what, we're going to pump ourselves up even like one class higher just to leave you guys all behind, and they gain more of that market share and more of that market share and more of their market share, that could make me even bullish on Tesla in the long run.
Yes, and on speaking of Nikola, by the way, I just want to also say I don't think that they're necessarily going to have to worry about Nikola as much as they thought they were, and as far as everybody thought they were. I'm sorry, but Nikola's had some fraud allegations brought up against them, and we can touch on that in another video. However, I do want to say, if these fraud allegations are true about Nikola, it's going to leave Tesla in that number one spot, because everybody's sitting here thinking right now, oh, Tesla's up here, but what about Nikola? Could they possibly get there? If they are caught being fraudulent with everything that they've been doing, that is going to be a huge blow to the rest of the EV market. I believe even Tesla will feel that pain, but not nearly as much as everybody else just entering the market. Everybody will be so skeptical of all the new EV startups that it's going to become very hard for everybody else to actually.
I completely agree. So I'm going to be curious to see what happens there. We'll have to do another video on that at some point.
So we'll move on to the next point here, and this is just Tesla overall. So with Battery Day, we'll kind of look to the past to kind of see where we might go in the future. You can see pretty clearly here. What date was the stock split again?
Stock split was very end of August.
Yes. And you could see, so I believe they announced it obviously right at the bottom of where this little chart is here.
Yep.
And then they moved, and once they announced it, of course, they went boom, 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 and they hit us a high price of about 500, 513, somewhere in there. Right here it shows 498. I think we're going to see something similar to that happen, not quite on that scale. A lot of people with the stock split thought that, hey, their stocks are going to be cheaper. I want to get in on it. I want more stocks. And then, like, oh, great. Now they're cheaper. Let's sell. And they did. So it felt like more of this is a quick cash grab. I don't feel that same kind of momentum with this yet. Maybe we will in the next couple of days, but you can see very clearly they went up, they went down, and they've been doing a similar kind of rise. In fact, if you look right here, we are in this spot right here. Currently, we are right there. We're right on this climb back up to the peak, and then we're probably going to see that other drop. People have been quoting them at 475, 500. Honestly, I think that's pretty accurate for the buildup. If they come out and deliver on all of these things that we kind of touched on earlier, and then more, I think it's very, very likely that they go up to that $500 mark again and then drop back down the same exact way that we've already seen them do not even a month ago.
Yeah, no, like I said, I agree. I think a lot of the hype has been starting to be priced in this past week. That's why you've seen them break the overall market trend. I think Monday is going to be a really interesting trading day to see if people are going to hop in before Battery Day or they're going to hop out before. And then come Tuesday, it's just going to be a matter of what gets delivered, what's announced, and then that'll really determine if it's going to keep rising or if it's going to come back and join the rest of the market down a little bit. So I don't know. I'm going to be curious to see what will happen.
And then my final note on Tesla is S&P 500. Now, they can join in at any time. I personally used to think that they were waiting and they were going to do it around Battery Day, but everything has completely died on S&P 500 inclusion for them. My belief now is that they're going to wait a little bit into next year, maybe the first quarter. I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert in that particular area. However, if they were to announce it in Q4, that would be the other thing that could just drive their prices way higher than $500. I think they would go beyond 500, maybe even closer to 600, and then drop back down, hit a huge spike because it would be so close to this battery day announcement, all this excitement that they've already had this year.
No, I agree. I think a lot of people were hyped up about the S&P 500 inclusion, and then they didn't get included, and there was a small correction, but not really a big one after that. But Tesla has met the requirements to be included. Now it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. I don't think that S&P can keep them out forever. They're quickly growing in market cap. They're going to be included eventually. They just have to keep staying profitable, which if this year's any indication, I think they're going to continue to be profitable. It's just a matter of how much. And then, like you said, if they come out in Q4 or even beginning of next year, it'll be another big catalyst. I think we'll see a lot of the same hype building up again. So,
yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, that was the final note on Tesla here. So we're going to go ahead and let me do the banner first. All right, we'll swap over to Apple. Now, this is going to be Apple through the holiday season. That is pretty much what we're going to be discussing throughout this particular section of the video. And a quick reminder to everybody, we're not professional investors. We're not giving you financial advice. We're discussing topics that we think could benefit or hurt certain companies as we go. With that being said, Apple, the holiday season. Do you have any just opening remarks, thoughts about where Apple is going to go this holiday season?
So I think Apple is going to go up this holiday season. I think that they have set themselves up well. They have multiple things that they've already announced or will be announcing. They've got their iPads, they've got their phones. They just came out a few days ago talking about Apple Fitness, which on the announcement seemed a little bit like a bust, but I think with time, it's Apple. They're going to make money off of it, and I think investors will be very happy with it. Peloton got a kind of decent, love during the holiday season. People like to get in shape. And so I think Apple Fitness, I don't know if it will cut into Peloton's share, considering Peloton actually, their stock price went up when Apple announced Apple Fitness, which I don't think anybody was expecting. But I think with time, Apple's just subscription service and all of their devices that they're going to come out with during the holiday season. They still have to announce their new phone. I think there's plenty of room for Apple to grow for the remainder of the year still.
Yes. So let's dive into that. I agree with you. I think that they are going to grow, and I'll kind of give some key points on when we think they'll actually grow as well, like times that they will. So first off, Apple Watch Series 6. This is the first time I've seen Apple really take it almost just felt like they were trying to focus on fitness the entire time. Like that's all I really felt that this September 15th event that they just had was really about. So you have the Apple Watch Series 6, and then you have the Apple Watch SE. Both are very good improvements from what they had. They have new technologies in them. I think that they are going to be a catalyst going forward to their subscriptions, to their fitness, their stuff like that. They also came out with the new iPad Air and iPad. Now, this is just a ploy for the holidays. You launch entry-level items because that's what people are buying for other people as gifts during the holidays. Like that, you don't launch your pros around the holidays as much just because they're not going to sell quite as well. That's more of a school thing, a work thing. They're trying to find gifts. They're trying to come in at entry-level prices, which I think is also why we're seeing the Apple Watch SE, a cheaper watch. That makes tons of sense. What are we right now? We're in a crisis of sorts. Not everybody is as financially stable as they once were. So it's a huge, huge benefit to Apple this holiday season.
I completely agree. And you've kind of seen them doing it for a little bit because they announced the new updated SE phone, which I contemplated getting because I didn't want to spend $1,200 on an iPhone. That just seems like a lot. So I think Apple has set themselves up really well. They've offered people plenty of product and services for this holiday season. And so, they're just a cash monster. Like they're going to continue to make money off of phones, watches, iPads, Macs, and now all of their subscription services. So you've got Apple Fitness, Apple Music, you've got Apple TV, you just have all like Apple Arcade, all of these different things that you can now get from Apple. And it's just during the holiday season, people love games, people love phones, people love watches, people love computers, I think they set themselves up really well, especially like you said, with these cheaper prices. It's a pandemic right now. Like you said, people have lost a lot of their financial footing, and Apple is like, you know what, we'll meet you a little bit, and we'll bring down the price with some of these cheaper products, but they're still good quality. And because of that, I am more bullish on Apple long term, and definitely for the next 3-4 months for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I love here is anybody looking for a phone, when you can get your price of your phone with a trade-in at a similar price, a less price than your Netflix subscription. Let's just think about this. The price of your phone with trade-in is less than your Netflix subscription. That's a big deal because how many people pay $11 for Netflix and watch it on their TV versus how many times do you watch everything on your phone and use your phone? So I think that is a huge deal, and I think they know that they are here for the holidays. They are prepared. I think they are set up as some of the best. You have competitors, Samsung and Google. Don't get me wrong. They have their cheaper options, which are stellar as well. But I believe Apple financially is going to be the best off this holiday season out of all of its competitors, just due to their releases that they currently have and their cheaper pricing. And this phone, I want to show you something real quick, is not bad. While it is your 4.7 Retina display with the home button that some people are going to be like, I remember that. You remember it. It's older, right? That's kind of what it feels like. They give you the A13 chip. It's a powerful chip. Now, the best thing about this is your screen resolution is low enough to the point where your power in your phone is going to be, it is going to be better used, better utilized. You can do more because it's not trying to constantly keep up with a higher resolution. So you're going to get more power out of this chip than most other devices will, especially anything with a OLED display. And it's a good looking phone. This is one of the models that was very, very popular. So I think it's going to sell. And I think that's going to be the iPhone 11, the Apple Watch SE, and the fitness, I think, are going to be huge this holiday season. I think everybody wants to get back outside. They want to get back exercising as the gyms open up all around the country and all around the world.
Exactly. There's this huge, you can kind of see this shift towards just health in general. Fitbit came out years ago. Since then, they've kind of lost a lot of their market share to just other smart watches. But it kind of started the narrative of like, let's get people back in shape. Peloton came out, they've got their bikes. I think they have treadmills. There is a money to be made for these companies in the health department, and Apple is going to try to cash in on that. And I think they set themselves up well because the Apple Watch is already very popular. And now with Apple Fitness, I think they're going to do really well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this is going to be the big catalyst. So not only are those things going to push, so their Q4 announcement date is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be high. They may not have made a ton more money than they would have on a normal year, but their sales themselves individually are probably going to be higher than they have been in the past.
Yeah.
Their phones aren't as expensive. You can't make as much money when your phones aren't as expensive, but there's more. The iPhone 12 is now when I say we, the internet, CNET, YouTubers believes that in October, we're going to see the announcement of the iPhone 12. For those of us who are in a better situation, who maybe aren't struggling as much, this is where their money is going to go. The iPhone 12, it's a next iteration. A lot of people are just looking for that next phone, that they've been waiting to upgrade to. And now their phone's finally broken and dead. And they don't want a $300 phone that looks like the one they bought 5 years ago. They want a new phone that looks like something out of 2020. I think in October, when they announce this will be the reason that their stocks go up when the announcement happens. I don't think we're going to see a Tesla battery day spike, but I do believe we're going to see a spike overall. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think that they set themselves up well because they are basically the SE they priced in. They realized that people don't have the financial footing that they did back in January. So they came out with a lot of cheaper, but not like cheap quality, like just lower prices. And then I think, and like I said, they've already announced their new Apple Watch series and they came out with Apple Fitness and they're holding off on this. I think this could be a small little catalyst for them whenever they do announce it. And I know plenty of people that the second that they announce it, they're gonna be like, I need it. I need the 12. I need it in my pocket. I need it now, because that's just the Apple. Some people just have that attitude when it comes to Apple products. They want the new, they want the greatest, they want whatever they can get their hands on. And so I think Apple set themselves up well, because they said, hey, if you have the financial footing and you want this nice, new, big, fat, shiny thing, here you go. And for other people, they're like, hey, do you want a new, great phone that's still fantastic quality but at a lower price? Here you go. They just set themselves up so well. They are hitting everybody that they can with their new products. So I think they're going to do really well this holiday season, even with the lower financial footing for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And then with the iPhone Pros, it looks like they're also going to, well, rumor has it, they're going to have a couple different versions of this too. So that way those people who do have that money can buy the ridiculous, they always come out with like a gold version of everything. I feel like nowadays, like an actual gold version, a $10,000 version. You can spend that if you want. But yeah, I think you nailed it right on the head. Those people who just have to have that latest and greatest, who maybe even have the iPhone 10 and can trade that in and cut half that price down, or a good price when they do some sort of promotion that you can get around the holiday season. Maybe that's what people are waiting for. But yes, this is going to be a big seller. And I don't think we're going to see record high iPhone 12 sales. I think we've already hit a lot of those record high product sales in general, not profit dollars. Total boxes out the door sales for Apple. Right. I don't think this is going to be that. I think you're going to get more sales with the SE, and I think that's obvious at this point. I just think that's a easy call. There shouldn't be really a question. Like, hey, which one's going to sell more, the $300 phone or the $1,200 phone? Well,
it's tough.
That's why Samsung is the #1 in the world as far as cell phone sales go, and how many people have it in their pockets, because they offer like $100 variants on it. The cheaper stuff just sells better, and it makes sense. Now, do you have any last topics or closing topics on the Apple?
No, I think, or not anything new that we haven't touched on yet. Like I said, I think they just, with their products, and I can't stress, Apple's shift to subscription services has been monumental. Their stock price has kind of taken a dip with the rest of the market, but like I don't think people can discount that. It's gotten to the point where there's kind of been a narrative shift. People are like, you know what? I mean, I want to spend $1,200 on a phone right now, but $10 a month for service, that doesn't sound too unreasonable. Yep. And if you have a bunch of people do that, it's very profitable. And so you kind of, some consumers are like, I'm not a fan of paying this much every month. But like you said, I mean, if you look at just streaming service, I know, like even my family, they have Netflix, they've got Prime Video, they've got Hulu, they've got all the same streaming services, and they pay monthly for. Apple is like noticing that people don't mind paying a monthly subscription for a good service. And so they are coming out with all kinds of new services. And I think that's going to really pay off in the long run.
Absolutely. And they're right now, so they were up at right around the split. They kind of did the exact same thing that Tesla did. They went from like 93 all the way up. Of course, this was, four times the price at the time. Yeah, it was a 4-to-1 split. But then they, all the way up to 133, and then they slowly creeped back down. This is another thing. I think by the time Q4 announcement comes around, and they can say that, guess what, guys? We're still making money, and more than anybody else. So I think they're going to be right back up here in this $100+ range. I think, or $130+ range by the end of the holiday season. This one will take longer. I don't think it's going to be, hey, September 22nd, 2 days from now, bam, they're up there. No, I think it's going to be a slow build, because everybody knows Apple's going to be selling things, and it's going to be quite obvious, quite evident when they actually do. So with that being said, that's all I have on that particular topic. Any final thoughts?
Nope, I am good.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to have our last topic here. Now, this is going to be for the next few months. We're going to talk kind of about Apple and Tesla based on the points that we've made. If, like me personally, if I want to go and I want to grab there it is, a stock, which one would I pick, or which one would you pick? And again, this is not financial advice for you, anybody who's watching this. This is our personal thoughts, what we think may be a better investment for the holiday season. So I'll start, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I firmly believe, let me get my screen right real quick. Screen share. Boom, boom. So I firmly believe that your immediate satisfaction of Tesla having the announcement in 2 days is where, if I was to go now, that's where I would put a little bit of money. Now, after that, depending on exactly what gets announced on Battery Day, will depend on if I hold them through the rest of the holiday season or if I sell off and put my money into Apple. Because Apple, by Q1 of next year, once that announcement comes out, their earnings stuff comes out, I think they're going to be overall a better improved, unless there's something that we don't see that's announced in Tesla and they just keep skyrocketing up. Maybe they're gonna their electrodes thing, maybe all these things that we thought, probably not, maybe it's still a little way out. They announce it all and it's coming next year. Yeah, by all means, that'll probably skyrocket them so far up that we won't be able to catch them. Nobody will be able to catch them. But other than that, I'm thinking Apple for the overall percentage increase. What are your thoughts?
I would agree with you, and I'm actually surprised that you picked Apple over Tesla, but that's just my opinion. But no, I agree. I think short term, this upcoming week, Tesla may be the more profitable one when it comes to Battery Day. But me and my risk tolerance, I'm usually fairly risky when it comes to investments, but I don't like to gamble. And I think waiting to see what may or may not happen on Battery Day seems more like a gamble to me, whereas Apple has concrete things coming out that are guaranteed to make them money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pick the safer bet, and in my opinion, possibly the more profitable bet in the long run. And I'm also going to say Apple. I think just with all of their services and their products coming out at the holiday season, people like to buy watches and phones, not necessarily cars. And so I think Apple is going to rise for the holiday season into next year. Tesla, like you said, if they come out on Tuesday for Battery Day with some fantastic news, I think we're going to see a quick spike. And then it's just going to be, once again, it's going to come down to a matter of sales, and see what are they going to do in the future. You know, Tesla right now is new, or they're not new, but with the rise of like Robinhood investors, they see a lot of growth really quickly, and then they see a lot of decline really quickly, and it's just a matter of back and forth. I think if you want that slow, steady, fairly safe bet, I think Apple is going to be your best bet long run.
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, we are not financial advisors or anything like that. So don't take this as financial advice. To be honest with you, what I will probably end up doing is kind of splitting it 50-50, put some of my money in Tesla, keep it there, put some of my money in Apple, keep it there. Because I think they're both great investments going forward. No matter which one you pick, I don't think you're going to be wrong. I don't think you're going to lose money in the long run, especially unless if Tesla's gigafactories burned down to the ground, something like that. Battery explosions. But yeah, that's really about it. I would be surprised if the overall growth were to continue for Tesla, beat Apple by the end of the year. Now, like I said, I do firmly believe Tesla's going to announce some things on Battery Day that are going to change the way that we see Tesla, or even how far advanced they are compared to everybody else. And that could possibly make them go way farther up. But like you said, it is a bit of a risk. We don't know that for certain. We do know that there's something coming. We just don't know what. And that's kind of the risk you take with something like that.
Yep, exactly.
And going forward, right now, I do have a lot of my Robinhood investor, retail investor, right? I do have a lot of that in Tesla. Like I would say about 85% right now sitting in Tesla for this battery event, because I do believe 100% that they're going to go up. Just how far, I don't know. But any final thoughts?
No, I think it's just like you said, they're both good companies. I wouldn't discount Elon Musk. He's a smart person. Just throwing that out there. It's just, for me, Battery Day, I think, like you said, I think it's going to be a catalyst. It's going to, in my opinion, probably be a good one. I just don't know. And so I'm too afraid to put my money there necessarily. Whereas Apple, I think, like I said, I think it's a safer bet. I do have stock in Apple, and I will probably continue to add more as time comes, because I just think long term they have set themselves up well for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one final call out, if you guys want to see a little bit more, I wouldn't call them super in-depth analysis of the Tesla and Apple. We do have other videos as well. If you want to check those out, they'll be in the link in the description. Also, if you're watching the stream that we do, it'll be just the first couple of sections of the stream where we just kind of discussed, hey, this is Apple, this is Tesla, holiday season, what's going on? So go find those, and they'll keep you up to date with everything else going on. With that being said, I just want to say thank you guys. Anybody who joins us for this, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be you and me, Mark. That's about it. You guys have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and a happy holiday season as it's starting to come. It is time to end. I don't have anything else. Anything else from you?
No. All right. See you guys all next time.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.